What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another monumental episode where we will finally be dropping off the R32 Skyline to get the engine bay painted. But first, show and tell. First on the list, my clear cam timing cover finally came in all the way from Canada. Personally, I think it's a vibe. I would have definitely preferred a metal cover that I powder coated the Dirty Magic. I have my rocker covers powder coated, but this will most definitely do. You can see the fancy HKS Gates belt and all the timing gears, of course, that I painted black. The Ross Racing cam trigger kit fits as it should, and honestly, the quality is pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Got a pink accent here. It's like a seal for the tray in the back, and then it comes with these little dowels here that are purple. The Amazon special, guys, honestly was like 22 bucks shipped. I believe the company is G+. Also, my 3/4 to 10 AN to 45 degree angle AN fitting is finally shipping tomorrow, so we can route this guy once we get it in back up into the turbo drain, and the plumbing for the turbo will finally be done. A couple of packages did come from RHD Japan the other day. I didn't need it, but I wanted it. I went ahead and bought a Greddy aluminum radiator. I believe this is just as thick, if not thicker, than the coil that I am currently running. Got my NPT threads, drain, and then the stock sensor goes there. So I'm stoked to run this. And also a package that is going to help us handle all the power we'll be making out of the Build 25 Neo OS Gaiken Racing Clutch. So as we are all aware, I finally got my hands, or pulled the trigger on a OS Gaiken twin disc clutch. I did not know that OS Gaiken clutches are only available in Japan per pamphlet that I've read, and anything in the States that's similar to OS Gaiken is a fake and they do not warranty them. So it comes with this nice pamphlet with the certificate of authenticity, torque specs, and some fancy stickers. They also came with a new release bearing, which is pretty cool. I'm going to use this one instead of the one I installed, since I think this release bearing is specific for this clutch. And plus this part's on like 30 to 50 bucks, so I'm not too worried. Take all the fancy cardboard out. We have ourselves our beautiful OS Gaiken STR CD2 twin disc clutch. I'm not gonna take it out all the way, but this thing it just feels incredibly durable. We got all high tensile hardware. This clutch is meant for cars that live between 700 and 800 horsepower. And I can't emphasize enough, I just want to push anywhere between 450 and 500 wheel out of the semi-built 25 Neo, and this clutch is definitely going to be doing the job. I also did go ahead and order ARP flywheel bolts, which was kind of costly, and then we need to make a trip up to Phoenix to visit Albert because he has a particular metal alignment tool, since the the tolerance on these clutches is so tight, they want you to use their specific clutch alignment tool. If you saw the last video where we installed the cannon doors on the Mark II, you would have seen that essentially I already went ahead and stripped down the engine bay for paint. We got all the bolts, all the headlights, clutch master, everything is here and there, and all the assorted bolts. I got the secondary wiring harness out. Right now I just have to wrap it up nicely in a bag and throw it over in the car, since I really don't want to remove this, but I'm thinking about taking the whole loom off and then relooming it so it looks nice and honestly not as crusty. We got the cowl off, as you can see. We got some crazy bolts, which these bolts here are dunzo. I was lucky to get one bolt off, but I'm thinking about potentially cutting these bolts out and potentially taking off the wiper assembly, since this car probably isn't going to be seeing any rain. No brake master's out, clutch master is out. All of the nooks and crannies have been tampered with, leaving some of the nuts inside so I don't lose them. But there's a couple grommets that I do need to take out. but for the most part, everything is out. I already scuffed it, but of course, John is going to be doing all the prep work for me, or essentially the whole job for me. So like I mentioned, we're going to be color matching the bay to the, it's Bayou Blue Metallic with 40 grams of miscellaneous blue and white crystal flakes. It seriously shimmers in the right sunlight. So we're doing that in the bay. And then up here also, I'm gonna have John paint if he can. For the side of the, I guess, frame, I'm gonna see if John can just do this black, nothing crazy, just black on here so it blends in nice, and then get this ordeal situated, figured out. It's not like internal rust, it's nothing crazy, but I would like that sanded and painted. And also thinking for the fronts here, also do black, except for up here, we'll have that paint matched, like the front where the headlights go and the core support goes, and just do that black. And I think that'll blend everything in very nicely. Just gonna leave the lines here and just tape those up good. And I was thinking, guys, also Chase Bays does make a really nice brake master booster delete kit. So essentially I can get rid of that big brake booster there, and I'll have like manual brakes. The kit's like 900 bucks with the lines, and I'm heavily contemplating it. I don't need it, but if I'm this far and making the bay look pretty, it'll definitely be worth the investment. And then also I did get some OEM delete grommets from Nissan for the AC. All right, the engine bay is officially ready for John tomorrow evening. Just got done taking all the grommets off. Took the rest of the BN Sports kit off. For the secondary wiring harness, just went ahead and cable tied it and double trash bagged it to protect it. Again, I probably will de-loom this and re-loom it with some better material, something more modern. And other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Skyline goes back to John tomorrow, and lead time should be anywhere between 1 and 2 weeks. Sorry guys about the noise, but we got the Skyline all dropped off. So again, we're going to do the engine bay, the full exterior color. On the sides here, we're going to do flat black, as well as the front of the core support. And then what John's going to do for me is just paint, I forgot what these are called, but he's going to paint these black for me, as well as the front cross member. So Skyline, we'll see you in a week. All right, everybody, and on that note, we are back home safe and sound, and the Skyline's engine bay work starts in a couple of days. It is 4th of July this weekend, or this week actually, within the next couple of days. So there was a slight delay in work, which is fine. That gives us 2 weeks to finalize the plumbing on the motor. I still need to do vacuum lines for the fuel rail, and then we still need to build that turbo drain line. Like I mentioned in previous clips, that specific fitting I'm waiting for has finally shipped out and should be here mid this week. So that shouldn't take too much longer to finalize the RB25 Neo. And then when we get the Skyline back, we'll go ahead and cut and buff the bay. Knowing me, I'm gonna ceramic coat it because why not? Then we can drop in the Neo to the Skyline, finalize all of the fueling, which I do need to order like a couple more hoses and AN fittings as well. And then from that point, we just wait until August 8th to drop off the Skyline up in Phoenix to my buddy's fabrication shop, where we will be getting intercooler, exhaust, and a downpipe made. And I can't wait to go full V-band on that setup too. It's going to be sick. And then from that point on, we'll tow the Skyline to hopefully Albert's shop, where he can essentially just do the first start for me. That's totally fine with me. I want to make sure the Skyline is like fully solidified before we start it. He'll overlook all the wiring for me, finalize all the wiring for me, and then get a good first start. And then base map it, throw it on the dyno, and we can wash our hands with this project. I cannot wait, we are so close. We are about 2, maybe 2.5 months from finishing the Skyline build, and as soon as we're done with that, we can hop on to doing the exact same thing on the Mark II, which I'm stoked for. But on that note, guys, thank you so much for the continued love and support. And if you're new to the channel too and want to hit the subscribe button, that'd be awesome. And remember, aim high, drive low. I will catch you next video. Take care.